We bring you the lunch edition of MBC News with me, Upile Kaisa. The headlines. Malawi calls for strengthened SADC regional collaboration to build networks that push for women's participation in political leadership across the borders. The Malawi Energy Regulatory Authority reduces the price of petrol by 6.94% effective today. An Indian firm, JBR Technologies Limited, expresses interest to establish a biomass power plant at entire dam site in Area 38 in Lilongwe City to generate electricity from waste. And now the news in detail. Malawi has called for strengthened SADC regional collaboration to build networks that push for women's participation in political leadership across the borders. The Minister of Energy, Jean Matanga, said this in Lilongwe on behalf of the Minister of Gender during a learning visit of parliamentary women caucuses from Zambia, Mozambique and Zimbabwe. Matanga said women continue to face challenges in politics, and such a learning engagement is critical to share ideas and find solutions to challenges facing women in the SADC region. Beatrice Mwape reports.
Speaking during the ceremony, Matanga said although women were the majority of registered voters during the 2025 general election in Malawi, very few made it to parliament. She says this indicates that although women are the majority participants in electoral processes, they remain a minority at ballot. The minister says there is need for sustainable action and strong collaboration among civil society organizations and other stakeholders to strengthen women's participation in politics and amplify their voices through advocacy and civic education. On her part, Chairperson for Women Parliamentary Caucus, Mary Kembo, says women are still facing challenges hindering their participation in politics, and the engagement provides them an opportunity to share experiences and exchange ideas. She says this will ensure women's political leadership goes beyond numbers but influence accountability and bring meaningful impact in their constituencies.
Women out there, they are called all sorts of names. They are harassed, they are intimidated. That hinders the potential women who wants to join politics. They say if we join politics, we'll be like harassed and victimized. So we want to encourage other women to be strong.
Gender Justice Coordinator at Oxfam, Lindwe Jere, says the cultural barriers women experience in Southern Africa are the same. Jere says Oxfam will ensure women leadership advance on the continent in order to build a gender transformative and inclusive democracy.
We also know that there are cultural barriers that are hindering this progress of women leadership. That is why we thought it was important that they sit down as one caucus, part of Southern Africa, that maybe there are challenges that are common to among all the countries, that they can sit down and then be able to electrify.
On her part, AU Youth Ambassador for Peace, who also represented Zambian Parliamentary Women Caucus, Ruth Ndlovu, says the meeting has come at the right time as Zambia prepares for election. Ndlovu says Zambia has reformed its laws to promote women in political leadership and hopes to share the development with the women caucuses.
Another strategy that we ensured is to ensure that there's traditional leadership being present to promote the participation of women. I think we must understand the cultural context that we live in Africa in general, that they do play a key role to help shaping the mindsets of our society and our members to ensure that when women are also at the forefront, it is not a competition between women and men, but we must complement one another's efforts.
The Women Parliamentary Caucus of Malawi has organized the learning visit in collaboration with Oxfam and other partners. The two-day meeting has been held under the theme Learning from Malawi's Election Reflections and Strengthening Women's Political Leadership in Zambia, Zimbabwe and Mozambique. Beatrice Mwape, MBC News, Lilongwe.
Government has secured close to 99 billion kwacha to improve water service delivery in Mzuzu City as part of efforts to address persistent water supply challenges. Minister of Agriculture, Irrigation and Water Development, Rosa Fachimbilizi, said the funding will support upgrading of the pipeline water treatment plant and raising of the Lunyangwa Dam in Mzuzu. Hassan P. reports.
Constructed in 1993, Lunyangwa Dam remains the main source of water for Mzuzu City. However, with a holding capacity of 4.2 million cubic meters, officials say the dam can no longer meet the growing demand for potable water in the city and surrounding areas. During an inspection of the dam and treatment plant, Minister of Agriculture, Irrigation and Water Development, Rosa Fachimbirizi, emphasized the need to urgently upgrade the facility to match expanding population growth in Mzuzu. She then disclosed that government has secured funding, including support from the European Investment Bank, aimed at raising the capacity of the dam to reduce erratic water supply currently experienced by residents of Mzuzu.
The work that is going on here is very impressive. As you saw, the dam is very well cared for. What is missing is the fact that the dam is now at low levels, and we need to raise the dam up so that the water doesn't spill over. So that project will be implemented very soon. We've identified the funds, and we should have the dam raised by June. So that will improve the facility in terms of provision of water to residents in Mzuzu.
Meanwhile, Northern Region Water Board has welcomed the development, pledging to accelerate efforts to improve service delivery. Director of Operations Asumani Ungwe said the institution is committed to effectively implement the project.
Now, as Northern Region Water Board, we are geared to provide services, water supply services to all the people who live in the water areas where we operate. So that one will do as demanded by the Honorable Minister.
In addition, the minister has also directed that the Lunyangwa Dam site, located within Kaningina Forest Reserve, be rehabilitated and transformed into a recreation center, saying the initiative will provide additional revenue for the water board. Hassan Piri, MBC News, Mzuzu.
The Malawi Energy Regulatory Authority, MERA, has reduced the price of petrol by 6.94% to 6,209 kwacha per litre from 6,672 kwacha previously, while maintaining diesel prices unchanged at 6,687 kwacha. According to a statement issued yesterday, MERA said the adjustment would take effect today, 8 May 2026. MERA chairperson Lucas Kondowe said diesel prices had qualified for an increase but will remain unchanged because of available reserves in the Price Stabilization Fund, PSF. Diesel qualified for an upward price adjustment of 7.56%. MERA also said the geopolitical conflict in the Middle East continues to put pressure on global petroleum prices and related supply chain costs. Government of Malawi, in coordination with the Republic of Zimbabwe, has finalized the repatriation of the remains of 17 people who died in a road accident in Zimbabwe. According to the press release from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, 8 people died on spot, and subsequent assessment confirmed that a total of 17 people have so far died in the accident. Furthermore, all victims who had been admitted to Kotwa and Motoko district hospitals have since been discharged, while 8 victims are still admitted at Parirenyatwa Referral Hospital in Harare, with 1 patient currently receiving treatment in the intensive care unit. Meanwhile, the Embassy of Malawi in Harare has processed travel documents for passengers certified medically fit to continue with their journey to Malawi. Private secondary schools across the country have been urged to invest in continuous professional development of their teachers to elevate education standards and student performance. The remarks were made by Father Lazarus Zulani of Karikira Parish during a closing ceremony of a 3-day teacher professional development training aimed at revolutionizing classroom instruction, organized by St. Claude Private School in collaboration with Global Missions Consulting. Chisomo Break reports.
Speaking through a representative, Father Zulani said professionally trained and motivated private school teachers contribute highly to students' performance while instilling discipline in the learners.
The tutors from Teachers College are here to train our teachers' skills of teaching. And this will encourage the teachers and the students to do well and behave well in the exam.
The board chairperson for St. Cloud Private Secondary School, Friday Kumitengo, lauded the teacher training, noting that it is part of ensuring that teacher skills and knowledge remain relevant with current professional requirements in a dynamic teaching world.
Hire teachers from various universities and from various colleges, but sometimes they may not have the teaching skill because maybe they didn't undergo some important areas of their studies. So it is important that they undergo these trainings so that they acquire those skills, and then they help them in effective delivery of their lessons to the students.
One of the participants, Ellen Gamangadzula, held the training as vital tool that would significantly enhance her daily teaching careers and boost her professional confidence.
Some of the teaching skills that we have learned are planning skills. If I have learned, or as I'm speaking, I have the skills on how to plan the lessons. That means if I plan the lessons thoroughly, it will help me to deliver the content in class following the logical order, and even helping the students to understand the content.
The training focused on refinement of general teaching skills for higher engagement, critical thinking, and integration of analytical methodologies into daily lessons and administrative excellence. Chisomo Break, NBC News, Blantyre.
You're watching NBC News. A reminder of our top stories. Malawi calls for strengthened SADC regional collaboration to build networks that push for women's participation in political leadership across the borders. The Malawi Energy Regulatory Authority reduces the price of petrol by 6.94% effective today. An Indian firm, JBR Technologies Limited, expresses interest to establish a biomass power plant at entire dump site in Area 38 in Lilongwe City to generate electricity from waste. Welcome back. An Indian firm, JBR Technologies Limited, has expressed interest to establish a biomass power plant at entire dump site in Area 38 in Lilongwe City to generate electricity from waste. The company's technical director, Pradeep Singh, disclosed this during a site visit to the dump site alongside Lilongwe City Council officials. Details in this report by Madaliso Mhango.
JBR Technologies Limited Technical Director Pradeep Singh said their company is interested in setting up a biomass power plant to produce electricity at entire dump site. Singh highlighted that once all the procedures are done, the company is expected to generate about 15 to 20 megawatts electricity from the waste. He said this will help to expand access to electricity in the country.
We are already working pan-India for these plants, and now we have come across few friends in Malawi which has proposed that we should bring our venture here. So now we have come here to visualize and to exercise our expertise that how we can put this plant of 15 megawatt biomass thermal plant at Malawi.
Lilongwe City Council Mayor Councillor Peter Alex Banda says the development will improve waste management in the city as well as help the council to generate revenue from the plant. He added that if all processes are done, the project will create jobs among many Malawians. According to JBR Technologies Limited, the whole project is expected to cost about 35 to 50 million US dollars, which is approximately 61 billion kwacha. Madalitso Muhango, NBC News, Lilongwe.
The 2026 Red Cross Flag Week will start today. Speaking during a press conference in Lilongwe, Director of Programs and Development at Malawi Red Cross Society, Leonard Maganga, said the week is important as it will help to raise both financial and material support, which will help the organization to respond on time when assisting people affected by natural as well as man-made disasters. From Lilongwe, Patrick Dambula reports.
The Malawi Red Cross Society MRCS Flag Week is an annual May campaign to raise funds and awareness for humanitarian efforts, disaster response and health services in Malawi. Announcing the launch of the campaign at a press conference in Lilongwe, Director of Programs and Development at MRCS, Leonard Maganga, said during the week-long campaign, the organization has targeted to raise at least 200 million kwacha to be channeled towards assisting 2,000 households which are in dire need due to various natural disasters.
People should contribute specifically through Malawi Red Cross Society because that's the sure way to have their support reach the most vulnerable people. So it's people supporting people through Malawi Red Cross Society. We don't only aim to give handouts to community, but also build their long-term resilience. That's why we are there immediately disasters occur, or even before disasters occur, and we are also the last to leave.
Maganga then said during the campaign this year they have cast the net wider in sourcing donations by introducing electronic platforms such as bank transfers and mobile money, which well-wishers can use to channel their donations to the organization besides the generic way. Maganga also appealed for non-food items, saying they are distributed to people that have been displaced.
We welcome non-food items or even food items that are not perishable. As you are aware that Malawi Red Cross Society is a co-lead on shelter and camp management. As such, we provide to the communities materials that will help them to find dignified shelter, such as tents, if people have mats, blankets, clothing, cooking utensils, plastic buckets, and all that.
The 2026 Red Cross Flag Week will be commemorated under the theme, United in Humanity. Patrick Dambula, MPC News, Lilongwe.
Blantyre District Council has described self-help initiatives as crucial in building ownership and sustainability of development projects in rural areas. The Council's Community Development Officer, Joseph Gama, made the remarks during the planning meetings between the Council and the area development committees on community development activities in Blantyre.
For one to change the mind, it takes time. It's a process, of course. It's not a thing that can be done in a day. So as a community development office and as a council, we are trying to facilitate the process where the community members can change their mind. Of course, it is hard. We know that not everyone can adopt the concept, but we hope that over 50% of the community members will really adopt it. Now, the role of the council in this initiative is to provide where the community does fall short of. They might mobilize bricks, they might mobilize sand, but they might need, for example, iron sheets. So the role of the council and other stakeholders like MPs is to make sure that these materials are available for them.
And now moving on to sports, the Electricity Supply Corporation of Malawi, ESCOM, has restored power at Bingu National Stadium. Electricity was disconnected 2 weeks ago after the facility accumulated a 170 million kwacha bill. Press Majawa reports.
Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture spokesperson Macmillan Mwale confirmed the restoration, saying it follows a meeting between ESCOM and the Minister of Finance.
In terms of engagement, we have engaged them, but at this point I might not be able to say yes, we have paid or we have not paid. But what is more important on our part is that the electricity has been reconnected and we have engaged relevant stakeholders, which are the service provider as well as the Ministry of Finance, who we work hand in hand with on such matter. From where I stand, I don't think there is any problem with water, because if you look at the meter at VNS, it is a prepaid meter that we have been using, and there isn't, I don't think it's true that we don't have water.
The 40,000-seater stadium will host the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup second leg qualifier between Malawi and Nigeria on Saturday. A day later, it will stage the Blantyre derby between Mighty Wanderers and FCB Nyasa Big Bullets in the FDH Premiership. On Monday, Masters FC faced Rwana Mitundu in a low-key showdown. Praise Majawa, MBC Sport Blantyre.
Darts Association of Malawi, DAM, will on Saturday hold its annual general meeting in Blantyre, which will be followed by an open singles tournament. DAM's Women and Youth Coordinator Anastasia Bottoman explains more.
The AGM is comprising of all the leagues which are under Darts Association of Malawi. We are talking of Northern Region Darts League, we are talking of Central Region Darts League, and Southern Region Darts League. We are going to discuss on how we have done for the past season, where we did not do well and where we have done well, and where we need to add and put more effort so that that should be improved in Malawi. And we are also going to focus on the next league which we are starting. How are we going to do it, and how best we can handle it, and some of the activities which we are planning as Darts Association of Malawi, and also we hear from the affiliates some of the activities which we need to put in our strategic plan. So after discussing on the issues to do with the AGM, we are going to have an open singles competition, which this tournament is open for each and every person, whether you are just a casual darts player, you are a sales darts player, you are affiliated to a team or league or not, or you just know partially how to play darts, you are welcome. And even the youth are welcome. We are going to combine them in this, as well as women.
Well, that item concludes this edition of MBC News. A reminder of our top stories before we leave. Malawi calls for strengthened SADC regional collaboration to build networks that push for women's participation in political leadership across the borders. The Malawi Energy Regulatory Authority reduces the price of petrol by 6.94% effective today. An Indian firm, JBR Technologies Limited, expresses interest to establish a biomass power plant at entire dam site in Area 38 in Lilongwe City to generate electricity from waste. Keep up to date with our news coverage on our digital pages by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. You are with me, Upile Kaisa. Thanks for watching. Have a lovely afternoon.
Eye on SADC is your regional news bulletin with a focus on developments from across the region. Stay informed with the latest news from the SADC sphere, from political updates to economic trends, social issues and community stories. We bring you the news that matters. Get comprehensive coverage, in-depth reporting, and a clear look at events shaping Southern Africa.
Join us Monday to Friday at 10 o'clock in the morning, only on MBC.